What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? How is everyone doing today? Let me announce I'm going live here quick. Everyone's having a good week. Man, it's just been a wild 2025. My goodness. It has been insane. Stuff going on with Trump. He's done some great things so far. Some stuff, it's like, all right, but hey, already better than Biden. So we're going to get into a lot of stuff here, though, but, you know, we're going to get into the AMC thing one more time. I just want to show you guys some numbers quick and just break some things down here. So a lot of people are going crazy because of Trey, and it's like, well, fuck them. We don't need him. We haven't needed him for 3 years. It's not a big deal. It's not like he really, other than bringing, you know, people to awareness, he didn't really help that much in a certain sense. Again, a lot of people want to blame just AA, but when the stock was $33, he showed it. 66% of us were going to say no. So, again, at that point, we could have raised 75 million shares. You could have raised like another 1.4, 1.5 billion. Dude, we would have been a whole different spot. But we followed Matt Kors. We all made mistakes. But how's everyone doing today? Like I said, this play, it's definitely going to be turning around in 2026. I know some people are like, Jesus, blah, blah, blah. At this point, it's like it's a couple months away. The way this is looking at AMC, it's just getting better news and better news. 2026 just keeps getting better and better and better. I want people to understand something. Since we have had this stock, the box office hasn't broken 10 billion. They're projecting 2026 to be 12.5 to potentially 13. And I told you before that they're going to keep adding more movies. Here's another good one. This will do a couple hundred million. Like I said, those couple hundred million add up. They add up. They add up. Just keep pouring them on in here. 2027, they're going to keep going. These box offices, these production companies, they lost so much money from this strike. I don't think people understand how much money they lost from these strikes. They have no choice but to start pumping out movies. And I know a lot of people are like, well, what about those fires? Those fires, the only thing the fires have really done is pissed me off because they delayed our TED 2 when it comes to production-wise. The only thing it's really done is hurt TV shows. And now TED Season 2 is going to be delayed, so that sucks. But other than that, it doesn't seem like it's really shut down or delayed a lot of movies. So I don't really see that being a problem going forward. Again, in 2026, 2027, you got to realize when you're adding another $2.5 billion plus at the box office, and that's just ticket sales, and AMC's getting 33% of that, that's another billion in revenue. So, and then that's just, you're not even talking about, concession stands, merchandise. 2026 will be the first year since you've held the stock where you're going, wow, we're paying off debt and we're building reserves and we're doing it with cash. We're not doing it with dilution. We're not doing any of that. And we still have a ton of cash in the bank. And then you will start to see a recovery and you'll see your short thesis die. And that's what we need to do. We've needed to kill the short thesis since day fucking one. And now, again, the box office is going to start to pop right now. Again, why he did that last capital raise. I don't think we're going to have we're on pace to do, better than I thought. And that's what we need. We need like a $1.8, $1.9 billion box office this first quarter. But it's like this first quarter, second quarter, I don't see it being where it's like, all right, AMC's killing it. So we're going to, like I said, we only have 1 million shares. If he asks for shares soon, we're going to just have to say yes. It doesn't mean he's going to dilute tons and tons. He needs to just dilute to get to Q3 or Q4. So maybe he dilutes one more time to offset Q2 and Q3 if you'd have any cash burn. But 2024 is going to be profitable. On top of that, you're going to have the best box office. Like I said, in 2026, you're going to be profitable in Q1, 2, 3, and 4. You're looking at 5 straight quarters of profitability after Q4. AMC's looking up better than it's ever looked fundamentally. And that's one of the things we've needed so long. And it's not going to be the same when you're talking about a $12 billion box office plus compared to the 9.6, the 9.7 we're putting up. Like I said, when you're putting up 12.5, 12.7, you're talking another $3 billion at the box office domestically. They also own international places. A lot of these movies you have to look at too in 2026. They're going to be massive at IMAXs. They're all going to go at IMAXs. Big, massive movie screens. Like I said, AMC owns the most. Perfect. said AMC is going to destroy it in 2026. So right now, relax. And this is what I'm saying to everybody that's been following me. Right now, this is when we should be learning trading. This is when last week I showed people indicators. You know, not many people want, all these people went crazy because of, oh my God, you're just showing lagging. Indicators, I'm just trying to show you step one. Indicators, it's nice to see, you know, the trend, the patterns. It's nice to be able to look at this and see what's going on, what's reading. Next week, again, we're going to go into charts. I'm going to show you candlestick patterns. I'm going to show you channels. There's a ton of other things. So don't just use those indicators and trade off those. They lag. It's not a like, oh man, these indicators are this and that's the only thing I should say. You got to add it all. But again, I like to show you guys on TradingView. So I have these scripts set up so we can go ahead and show you guys all of the patterns, everything you guys can start to look for. And that way, again, if you guys do join our Discord, I show you every time I do a play, I show all of this. I show everything that I break down. And again, I like to add, there's a ton more. You still want to add options flow. So don't just take that first video and be like, oh, I'm ready to go. You got to add all of these other elements. There's so much stuff. And again, news trumps everything. You can have the best setup in the world, and guess what? You could still lose. Because again, any type of bad news for any company, like we did with our HIMS trade, on the first try, you know, we made it back on the couple tries later, but on that first try, we ended up getting that bad news where they no longer declassified that drug as hard to get, and it fucked HIMS. And it was the day after we bought our calls, so that sucked. It just, you know, sometimes it happens. You have bad trades, you learn from them, but again, news trumps all. But like I said, guys, this is the time I hope we all start to learn, trade in the moment, you know, in the meantime. Nobody's selling fucking AMC. No one's selling AMC. No one's going right now and like, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna take this massive loss at this point. Everyone's gonna fucking keep holding. Everyone's gonna keep holding. There's gonna be tons that are gonna keep buying. Whether you're still buying or not, trust me, I see it all the time. Every day on Twitter, plenty of people still going at it. Me and my Discord group, we still averaging down. Make a ton on these free plays, average down on the house. What a better way to do it. So again, this is what I encourage people to do. My next video, I hope you guys make the next video. Join the Discord. Learn trading. The system's corrupt as fuck. People that are trying to blame YouTubers for all of this. Again, you're in a system that is made for manipulation, stealing, corruption, and regulators that work for the people doing it and don't uphold it. And then instead of getting mad at the people that are committing crimes, I mean, the community's so split up because people are trying to blame people that are in it with you. That's like going to a poker game and we're all at the same table and the dealer, he's cheating. He's got a stacked deck. And somebody's like, you know, I feel good on I feel great on this hand. We'll see what happens. And all of a sudden you bet big on this hand and next thing you notice, he pulls the fucking ace out from under his sleeve. Are you going to get mad at the guy who said, hey, the setup looks great? Or are you going to get mad at the dealer who fucking slipped his fucking ace out? Everybody's got to fucking focus. You guys are... The GameStop report not only showed you were right, it showed you everybody that's in AMC, you were way right because you were 4 times more over leveraged. I don't give a fuck what any GME guy says, any of the shit at this point. When that GameStop report came out, it said AMC was 4 times more leveraged and Robinhood had to fucking turn it off. That's facts. It's fucking documented. That's what your government told you. You were all right. All those people you listen to on YouTube that you want to fucking blame that, oh my God, they got me in this play. The GameStop report said they were correct. So again, guys, we got to refocus on the fucking criminals, which are the fucking banks, these market makers, the SEC, FINRA, all these pieces of shit that allow it to continue. But until then, let's learn the game. Let's learn how to fucking get small profits in the meantime. We're going to trade up my trading strategy for the next couple weeks. We're going to start getting more in the money calls. We're going to get 50 cents out of the money calls instead of going out of the money with extra contracts, taking more risk. It reduces risk, but hey, I'd rather sit there and chunk than get big play here, big play there to make up for a couple losses. So it's like we're going to retrade it out, see what's better. And that's the thing about trading. You should be learning, changing, growing every single day. Every day, guys. But let's get back into all this shit. So, Citadel. People are not paying attention to the people that we're against. Citadel is continuously selling bonds. They're raising capital to pay owners, to pay dividends, to pay people that are trying to get out. They're doing it by raising bonds. Now, on top of that, I want you guys to understand that these bonds are 1.7 above the 10-year. So these are like 6.7%. These are not cheap bonds. They're paying 6.7% on $1 billion bond. That's a lot. That's a fucking lot of money. You don't just go ahead, and I know people are all like, well, look at the grades. The grades are, they're low risk. They're low risk, and they're still paying fucking 6.7%. This is an expensive thing for them to not pay the dividends out themselves, just so they can report a bigger earnings. Or it's the Ponzi scheme we all know it is. Every time they can't afford to do this, or their shares sold not yet out, or is out of control, they have to raise money. And they're doing this because of us. They sold off a portion of their company for the first time in history. So while they sit there and say everything's great, they're just doing what everyone else is doing. They're netting. They're doing all these other things that they can get rid of obligations, hide obligations. They're getting loans. Their ratings every single time tell a different single story. You don't just go get a loan to pay dividends if you can pay it out of your pocket, so you can pay interest on that. It's a lot of money to just be fucking throwing away, dude. That's what I'm saying. 60, 70 million in interest payments alone. It's not something where you're just like, let's throw 70 fucking million dollars away on something that I can pay right now. No, you're doing it because you need that other fucking capital. You need that other money. So again, you're constantly seeing these guys. We need capital. We need to sell off parts of our business. We need to raise this. It's a big deal. And now the way that the entire United States is now going, the problem is everything's getting so bad, so bad, so bad. You're starting to finally see the risk attached to bonds is completely inverted. It's no longer low risk. It's flying up the charts. All these corporate bonds, all the risk attached to them, they're all downsizing. They see the economy's getting fucked. There's risk across the board that they created, and it's going to start to cost them. This means that now every single time these guys go out, as you're seeing right here with Citadel, every single time these corporations now go out and start to get these bonds and get all of this stuff, guess what? It's going to start costing them and costing them and costing them. See, crime eventually catches up to you. And this is what I wanted everybody to understand. Eventually, the system will collapse because at every single point or turn, what are you seeing? This is broken, but we're cheating right now. This is broken, but we're cheating right now. Every fucking aspect of the entire economy is broken at some point. It's all broken everywhere. Eventually, every kingdom falls. Everything's going to have to come crashing down eventually. The way that the wealth distribution is in the United States is unbelievable. Just wait till you see these numbers. It's unreal what is going on in the U.S. So again, it's getting more and more and more and more expensive for these guys to issue bonds. Bonds are not going to be a good way for these guys to issue money. They're no longer able to go out to shadow banks. I showed you guys the shadow banks. They're cutting them off. The shadow banks are too high. On top of that, it's getting harder and harder and harder for these guys to go get loans from these normal banks. Again, the money to the M2 supply dropping showed you that, because that shows less money out there from banks being able to lend out less loans. So now for these corporations to go out and get loans and bonds to issue these, it's getting more and more and more expensive. And that's great for us. Perfect. Fuck these corporations. Fuck these criminals. I want their fucking crimes to be more expensive. Good for us. So it's getting more expensive for them. They're needing to issue money, or they're needing to issue notes to raise capital just to pay off fucking dividends and to pay people that are leaving. And AMC in 1 year is going to be profitable as fuck. And again, this is what people don't understand. Let's say AMC is fucking destroying it, right? Let's say AMC is killing it in 2022. Let's say we're insanely profitable. let's say you have a good cash reserve still banked up. Let's say we still go into it with like 600, 700,000 to start or 700 million to start the quarter, the year. And by the end of that, you can get up to about 900 million, pay some debt off. You could start, let's say 2027 starting to look even better or around as good or over the 12 billion to where you're still profitable. This is when you could start to do buybacks, do other things, get it to where eventually that's where you lead to. Again, once you start to turn it around, you can get FOMO. There's a ton of opportunities down the road. Again, AMC right now is a buy low with tons of potential fundamentally around. And you're seeing the other stocks with that $25, $35. There's no reason AMC can't get back up fundamentally to $18, $19, $20. This is why, again, I keep telling people, if you can go ahead and learn trading, average down on the house, make a couple here and there. Get it down, get it down. You can get it to where everyone's like, oh, I can't make it back. Well, yes, you can eventually make it back. You can make it back on the house, too. It's not something to where it's like everything. You know what you're fighting. You know what you're doing. You know you're in a rigged game. It's just like you're playing a video game. It's just like anything else. You want to learn how it works. You want to learn strategies. You want to learn what to look for to improve on it and get better and make the next one and make the next one or make plays that you're down on. So right now, I was down on HUT pretty fucking bad. I was down on HUT pretty fucking bad on those first set of calls. The next 2 days, HUT dropped, and then HUT dropped. And next thing I noticed, because you're on a downtrend, and whenever you're on a downtrend or on, you're on a weak cycle, the premiums are always insanely low. So what did I do? I loaded up when we were at like $24 or $25, whatever it was. I can't remember what it dropped down to, but it was like, fuck, I thought I was going to get crushed. And then next thing I noticed, I got a ton of calls at the bottom. I'm averaging it back out. It's like, well, now when I look at it, at least we're green again. So it's like in Bitcoin and everything with crypto is set up still. And like I said, over the weekend, after I saw Saylor do that bond thing, they're going to be able to now to issue more bonds at a better rating. So they might even be able to get a negative rate. So at this point, I feel like he's going to issue more bonds pretty fucking soon. He's going to buy more Bitcoin. So, I mean, everything with HUT calls are still looking good. Setup still looks good. I still like it on the weekly. I mean, charts look good, quick. Channels are good. You don't have too much resistance. Again, we're looking at tons of good indicators. MACD's high. You're getting back up to the 0%. So I mean, trending wise, it's starting to go back up. You're getting tons of crypto news. I still like HUT. I still love those calls. But again, events. This is what I want people to, news, events, look off stuff like that. Like, perfect example. The second that AI center was announced, there's a guy in my Discord. His name's Sam. Shout out, buddy. He called the colo and he called NNE right away. I didn't have any extra powder because I put pretty much everything getting back into the cut calls, getting back up. But he called those and there was about $29, and look at him now. That news comes out and they're at $43. And it was like, great call out in the Discord event. See, there's things to look for. You want to constantly look for news when you trade. Check out the charts. Check out the flow. Option flow. We'll get into all of that again. We're going to get into unusual whales in the next one. But again, guys, in the meantime, don't just sit there. It's like that's like the equivalent of just putting your money in a bank and earning 0.001% interest, which is what a lot of people do and never get above. Come watch some of these videos. Like I said, you don't have to learn from me. Just think how many times you guys sit there and you're bored as fuck at work. Imagine just turning on a TA video quick. Just one. Then come learning some indicators. It's not as crazy as you think. And the reason I'm doing these videos is a lot of people just don't know where to start. But like I said, that's why I did indicators last video. Now you guys know how to do the indicators. Now you're going to be able to match it up with finding the channels. You're going to be able to match it up with TA patterns, candle patterns. We're going to be able to do a lot of different things. We're going to learn, like I said, different option strategies together. This is eventually going to collapse in some way. I know a lot of people, I don't know if you guys seen what Herb's put up through the DTCC with all the FTDs. But the amount of FTDs and pushed into derivatives for AMC, we weren't wrong. It's still 4 times the amount of fucking GameStop. People aren't giving up on plays they've been into this whole movement. It's just people are divisive. A lot of people are quiet because they're done dealing with the bullshit, the drama. It's tiring. It's the same thing. You watch your heroes turn on you, and then the first thing they do is blame AA. Like I said, Trey comes back, and what the fuck was that? Bro, at that point, just stay away. You obviously, unfortunately for you, dude, I don't know what the fuck happened. Like I said you had all this money, you did all this stuff, and now you're telling us you're broke as fuck, and, you know, it's like, you obviously are holding hate in your heart. If you're not blaming the people that stole or did anything against us or had control over the market, you're going after him. He was on your channel, bro. Like, it's just stupid, man. Like, you were the one dude out of the whole movement that just went away, and it's like, just don't come back to do that shit. It's just stupid and fucking pointless. What was the point of that? I'm sorry you got hate in your heart, bro, but again, guys, you guys gotta channel that shit on the people that fucking stole from you. The people that controlled the market and the play you were in. My point right here. So Bloomberg comes out. We were proven right by the fucking GameStop report. And now we're proven right about this. Everybody, the reason we're not getting what we should be doing, nothing's happening, right, is they're trading everything off. ATSs, dark pools, internalization. I showed you guys the CNS program. I showed you guys derivatives. It's everything under the fucking sun. I showed you the entire iceberg and everything under it. Now, finally, Bloomberg comes out. Oh my God, you guys. Over 51% of trades are going off market. Since the start of January, all trades, almost 52% of all trade volume in all of January so far is off market. It's off exchanges. And it's just going up and up and up and up and up. Duh. What do you think we've been bitching about forever? What do you think the movement's been saying? Of course it is. Everything we have shown you guys is fucking right. And then they're slowly admitting it. Why? Because Trump's stock's involved in this, Elon's stock's involved in this, and they're fucking in charge. Are they eventually, if there's gonna, I'm not saying never rely on an administration, but if there's an administration that might come fuck some shit up, it would be this one. They both have money on the line. They're both victims of this shit. That's why you saw Tesla jump. Probably a lot of people got out real quick before he starts doing something. This is destroying the economy more than anything. This is destroying the credibility of the stock market. This is destroying price discovery. And this is making it so what they can do is make spread bid ass. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this right here. This is why your bid ass spreads are so fucking high. Look at what they're able to do. Let's say you put in an order at Market Fill. What do you think these guys are fucking doing? They're buying it at the bottom of the ask, and they're filling it for you at the fucking top of the spread. Look at that fucking difference they just made. They're loving it. They're able to take all of this shit off exchanges and make the spreads wider and profit more off the spreads. Do I think Trey was getting paid? I don't know. I don't really... Here's the thing with Trey. Like, I don't know if he was really getting paid. The dude... Here's what I think happened with Trey. I think the dude... I mean, I don't honestly fucking know. I think when it comes to his money in the millions he talked about, I think you guys got to understand, like, when Trey's channel was blowing up, that dude had to have been making an insane amount of money on YouTube. Thousands a month. Thousands a month. Thousands a month. Let's say he put in 1 month, he put in $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 on one call, and that one call hit off. I mean, the dude was showing you TA and showing you who's trying to trade. It just takes the one time. And then maybe he made money off that. Maybe the movement was getting to him because it wasn't happening. People are calling him, blaming him for everything. Eventually, the dude snaps. Here's the thing. Everyone has a mental point where they just break. And I think that you could see by his body transformation, his language, the way he went off, everything. You could see a complete difference. And I've dealt with some people with suicide, and especially recently in these last couple months here. And it's like, you just don't know. They can be the happiest person in the world. And then next thing you notice, you're gone, dude. And it takes one thing. Anything. And it could be something that to you could be small, but for them at that exact moment was all it took. And I feel like you finally saw the guy snap. Like, there's moments you see me on Twitter, man. Dude, I mean, you don't think those fucking losers were part of my fucking, you're trying to get hard to have for sympathy. No, I just feel bad as fuck. What should be happening is not fucking happening. I feel bad that people like these fucking losers want to go ahead and expose my child, my life, like I said, these same people that bitch that I do part-time at Domino's don't look at the job above it, the general contracting job above it, you fucking retard. That's why I posted, hey, gas station attendant guy, you fucking work at a gas station. Settle down. Like I said, this shit's fucking ridiculous. Who gives a fuck? When people can't destroy your message, they try to destroy your character. And that's exactly what's happening. The GameStop report, all these things, government files, filings, SEC reports, the fines. These fucking people are mismarking billions of orders. Orders, not shares, orders. How many shares are attached to each one of these fucking orders? Do you see what I'm saying? This is insane. The amount of shit they're able to just get away with. So hopefully the next SEC gets their fucking head out of their ass, or again, they're going to collapse the financial system just doing what they're doing. They're taking billions. It's getting to a level where you've never seen. It's billions. It's fucking billions. Like a day. You're talking trillions, and trillions are being funneled out. When you're losing trillions of dollars, eventually that's going to catch up to you. There's no fucking way it doesn't. You can't keep up with that. Sorry. Especially when you see what's going on with the rest of the economy. So, again, they're finally admitting, well, too much is going off. What this is doing, it's destroying the display prices. It's destroying because nobody knows what they're doing. So what this is doing is it's making all these off exchange, or the exchanges, not as competitive. It's expanding, as they said, bid-ask spreads, as I'm showing you right here. Bid-ask spreads are super fucking spread because everything's off market. It's a joke. Meanwhile, you're seeing gold, crypto, all these things being adapted. I like to talk event plays. Well, you got MicroStrategy. I told you guys, when I came to Hut, a Hut long call is a good play. Not financial advice, but a Hut long call is a good play. In the money, ride the delta, ride no theta. Guess what? This fucking asshole is going to keep buying and buying and buying and buying. And then if the U.S. does do a reserve, good grief. Hut will kill it. Give yourself time. Like I said, in the money, it might be an expensive call, but you're better off doing the in the money expensive call. Watch for an entry point. Watch your signals, watch your entry points, watch your flows. But again, you want to get in, though, before this fucking dude here starts to announce we're buying more Bitcoin. What happens every time he does? Drops for a second and just fucking skyrockets to all-time highs. Because he buys all these people's bags, and then those guys that bags he just bought, they know he's going to buy more, so they jump back in with profits. It's a continuous trend, and miners are going to look good in a couple months. They're going to look fucking incredible. Event trading is very profitable. Trump talks about being the crypto capital of the world. What? Oh, is this... One second here.
Superpower. And
oh. 1 second. This thing, it changes it every time I fucking put my headphones in. Alright.
reduce the cost of virtually all goods and services. It'll make the United States a manufacturing superpower and the world capital of artificial intelligence and crypto. My administration.
So we know he wants to go and be a crypto capital, and like I told people with XRP and stuff, now you have the XRP and the Bitcoiners going at it. There's a war between the two because they both want to know which one's going to be the reserve coin. I still believe in my heart it's going to end up being XRP because of how much cheaper it is and how he can go into how much more he can get. And how much more profit could be made if all of a sudden could you imagine if the United States, we're going to go giant, massive XRP reserve. Now, I'm not trying to push XRP again, like all these people, oh my God, you're pushing the... Ripple and XRP, it's not a cbdcs. It's not even close. It's a cryptocurrency on the Ripple exchange that is currently being used as utilization as instant settlement. Like I said, that's not a CBDC. We didn't want CBDCs because that's what the central banks would issue to me and you, be able to control. And guess what? Sorry about that. They could control what we spend our money on. They could shut it down. That's nothing to do with any of this. Currently, what they are, like I said, it's just instant settlement. It's just funds to instant settlement across internationally. That's it. Nothing close to your CBDCs. People went out of control with that. It's not even close. Just because that's the crypto the banks are choosing to use for instant settlement doesn't mean that that's it. Just because Swift's trying to get involved because the only thing they're freaking out because, it's involving Swift. Swift is trying to get involved because Swift realizes they're going to get fucking kicked the fuck out of there. Because at some point they're going to go, what do we need it for? We can do everything over here on XRP, but 1 billion times faster. Then it eventually becomes obsolete. And they're just trying to get their one last hurrah. But again, it's like people that don't understand crypto are just going fucking crazy about it. It's like, you guys, like I said, imagine if he goes into that because of the utilization is already in place for instant transaction and other countries have already adapted it. Now, is he going to do it? I don't know. He could do anything. I'm not saying go buy XRP either. I'm just saying that he's talked about it. There's a whole bunch of things. But right now you got a crypto war between Bitcoin and XRP, just like you had one between AMC and GameStop. And it's like, guys, we all want our coins to do good. We all want our shit to do good. Everyone wants everyone to pick the right coin. No reason you can't do a little of both if you guys truly believe it. Like I said, it's like we all got to stop fucking hating every single retailer that has a different thing. It's crazy. This isn't sports. We're all getting screwed together, man. We're all getting screwed together. But one of the things, speaking of CBDCs, President Donald Trump signs an executive order, and the first thing he did is he banned the shit out of CBDCs. So everybody worried about CBDCs. We're not allowed to establish one. You're not allowed to promote one. You're not allowed to issue one. CBDCs are done. They're not coming in the United States. Good. Get that fucking trash out of here. What did Trey say when he came back? If you didn't see it, man, don't worry about it. He pulled like a Matt Kors. He blamed everything on Adam Aaron. Basically, he pretty much pulled a Matt Kors. He basically went line for line Matt Kors. It was crazy. But it's like, whatever, man. Like I said, at that point, just go. Like I said, sorry the dude carries hate in his heart. But unfortunately, it's just like every trade, man. You know, now that I've actually traded, I've lost a lot. And like your mindset changes. Your mindset fucking changes a lot. You've lost and I've won a lot. And over the last couple of months, I've won a lot more than I've lost. And it's been very nice. I've learned what I'm doing. I actually can look at a play. I don't look at a play or I don't get in an option play and then panic. I don't sit there and freak out every day and go, fuck. What's it? I go, okay, I can actually wake up, look at stuff and go, all right, well, this should happen and this should happen. I'll look at the minute. I'll look at the hour. I'll look at the day. I'll look at the fucking weekly setup. And I can kind of get a frame on what I think is going to happen throughout that time. Obviously, when volume expands, you can get to where, you can, and then you can look at resistance levels, trend levels, support levels. There's tons of things you can suddenly look at. And it's like, okay, well, now I know what I'm doing. When my stock goes down on day 1, I don't give a fuck. Day 3, suddenly we come back and they're like, there you go. Or you're up. It's a completely different mindset. And it's like, Everything for AMC was there. It still was. And they fucking turned the buy button off. Do people want to forget that? They turned the buy button off. And then they fucking did the iceberg. They did the iceberg theory and fucking put most of those obligations away. But they're still fucking there. They're in every single one of your accounts. Every single one of those obligations is still in every one of your accounts. It's not disappeared. There's no way in the fucking world Robinhood and all of these platforms would say, we're going to hold 100% of the obligations, don't worry. Fuck no. When this comes crumbling down, they're going to be the ones on the hook to have to pay off all these fucking people that, hey, my account says I had this. They're not just like, yeah, fuck yeah. Like I said, when it comes, like, people got to look at the bigger picture in a lot of these aspects, and they're not. So again, CBDCs aren't coming, but you're seeing a ton of shit trending towards crypto. So again, these are some good plays to look towards. Do what you guys want to do. But here you go. JP Morgan Chase, more criminal, has another whistleblower. So what JP Morgan Chase has been doing behind the scenes is that capital reserve requirement that I told you guys that they're so scared of, the capital endgame. They're already breaking the law on the current one that's less than anything. That's basically nothing. So they're over here breaking the law, and this guy's turning them in, saying these guys are actually not holding the amount of money that they're supposed to be. And if you look, because they're doing what is called netting in all these illegal activities. Netting, you remember how we talked about netting in the very first thing with Citadel? So now they're doing netting. JP Morgan has been issuing, because they're doing netting, they're able to issue another 75 to 100 billion in loans. Which actually would mean if they weren't able to do that and claim all that income and all that extra things, JP Morgan Chase would be at the negative. It's billions and billions and billions in extra income. It's billions and billions and billions in more collateral that they're able to go use in the market and rehypothecate. Without them cheating, and a whistleblower is telling exactly what they're doing to stay fucking positive each time and make these mass amount of extra money, well, they're breaking the law. And then when you make the law more strict, they're really going to be breaking the law. And that's why they're fighting it tooth and nail. So currently, right now, they're not even following the capital requirement rules. And guess what? Powell, that criminal piece of shit, the one that Trump wants to get rid of, anybody that thinks that the Federal Reserve should not go is an idiot. The Federal Reserve does nothing but protect criminal banks and give them ways to bail out from doing more financial crimes. So where the average Joe doesn't understand or doesn't know what happened, but then their taxes go up. Federal Reserve is turning a blind eye to all of these misconducts by America's largest bank. And it goes on and on and on and on about all these fucking things that they're doing. Now, this whistleblower is going to die. This whistleblower will die in the next couple months. He will not make it to trial, and he will end up dead. But this is what's happening. Banks they're doing whatever the fuck they want. And when they get too out of control, Jerome Powell bails them out. That's why he made the bank lending program, because every single bank in the United States, most of them are actually insolvent, unless they cheat. Kind of crazy. Now, that same Federal Reserve itself is pretty much insolvent. Well, I can't say insolvent because they can fucking print money whenever the fuck they want. But that current Federal Reserve is at negative $219 billion in the hole. If you look at the history of the United States, as you guys can see here, the Federal Reserve pretty much has never been negative really anything. It may be $1 billion here or there, and then they pay it back with interest the next year. Since 2020, the Federal Reserve has been negative billions, and you've never seen anything like this in the United States history. The Federal Reserve that Trump has inherited is at negative $220 billion, and they're adding it harder and harder and harder. And on top of that, if you guys look over here in the United States, look at this inequality. This is fucking insane. Hi, Aaron. How are you doing, buddy? The rich are getting richer faster than ever. U.S. household net worth has risen 56 trillion since Q1 2020. It hit a record $160 trillion, okay? The top 10% own 111 of that 160 trillion. This is what I told you guys. People are calling me a socialist and bitching. Oh, dude, you're bitching about these billionaires? Yeah, because there shouldn't be billionaires. There shouldn't be. There shouldn't ever be a billionaire that has, especially 50 billionaires, 20 billionaires, 100 billionaires. Nothing they did was that great, I promise you. But they're allowed to break laws, become fucking monopolies, crush out their competition, and raise prices and kill out everything they wanted. And pay off and bribe lawmen and do whatever the fuck that your most average Joe can't do. The top 10% own 111 trillion of all wealth. This accumulates for 70% of total wealth in the world. The top 10% own 70% of all wealth. The top 0.1%, the top 0.1% own 22 trillion, reflecting 14% of net worth. So you have 0.1 trillion that have more wealth. Now listen to this number. On the other hand, the bottom 50%. On the other hand, the bottom 50% own 3.9 trillion or 2.4% trillion, or I'm sorry, 2.4% of wealth. 0.1% own 22 trillion, while the bottom 50% own 3.9. This was capitalism. This is where it led to. This was the end game. Them enslaving you through debt and becoming richer than anyone being able to be touched. These are your oligarchies. These are your fucking rich. They're all standing behind Trump. They're all in the front row. Bezos, Gates, fucking, what's his name? Is Elon. They, like I said, it's all these fucking people now, dude. Get ready for it. These guys have like a trillion in net worth here. Let's see what they do. So again, the national debt in the meantime is going up, 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 up. They said that they had to stop it. We're about, remember, we're in a debt crisis. We're in a debt ceiling crisis. We're about to get fucked. It's crazy. We're about to go down. Did my audio go mute? I mean, it says I'm still talking on this. Yeah, it's like, it shouldn't have gone mute. So again, now your national debt's flying. I told you what's going to end up happening now is this is going to start flying up at uncrazy rates because they're going to have to spend a shit ton of money to start fixing stuff. Well, guess what? December, right before Biden left, U.S. posts a 711 billion deficit. They added 87 billion to the deficit in just fucking December. They added 87 billion to the deficit. So the economy, everything, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. And that's why you're seeing gold, once again, about to break an all-time high. Gold is going to break 3,000 easily by the middle of the year. Maybe by the end of this year, gold will easily be at like 30, 31, 3,200. Easily. Gold is another good safe spot to put your money in. As long as you're not sitting in just in a bank, you're doing good. Now, with all this shit happening, guess what? That means more risk is coming into our economy. China and Japan are dumping. And guess what that means? More risk is going to attach to these, which means you're going to see over 5% in 2025. You will see 5% treasury yields, which that means you're going to see 8% mortgages. You're going to see 8% mortgages in 2025. Along with that, just last year alone, to show you guys my point, they're enslaving you through debt, we have added 51 billion to credit cards. You're now up to 1.9 trillion in credit cards. This is insanity. On top of that, if you guys look, delinquency on auto loans, guess what? Reaching all-time highs. People are now defaulting on their cars. This is more problems for banks. They're defaulting on their cars. Mass credit cards debt being taken out. You're getting mortgage loans, getting default. You're having commercial real estate loans, default like crazy again. They're still getting extended and pretending as much as they can. But again, there's going to be nothing but bombs going off in 2025. This shit is going to be insanity. But one thing we know throughout history, the movie theater has always done well during depressions and downtrends in the economy. So again, if you're an AMC, just relax. Guys, let's learn to do some trading in the meantime. Keep exposing as much as you can. And does anyone have any questions? You say that, yet you're for Trump? I'm not for anyone. I saw what Blue did. I knew what Kamala Harris was better than what the hell she was going to do. He already did better than what she was going to do when he fucking did CBDC bans. I mean, there's a couple things he's doing that, but I don't like Trump. He's still a fucking con man. Look at his Trump coin. What the fuck kind of president does a shit coin right before he fucking becomes president? I've never seen that in my life. That will never happen again. That was the craziest fucking thing in United States history. We got grifted by the United States president. It was fucking insanity. I don't like that guy. He's another rich guy. But some of the things he says and does, I want. But some of the things like, all right, I mean, he's trying to go back towards, fossil fuel and oil and stuff. And it's like, dude, I mean, whatever. It's like we're getting rid of windmills and we'll see what happens here. I don't know. It's going to get crazy. But like I said, in the meantime, you guys look for event trades. Like, okay, you saw that DeepSeek just came out and fucked some shit up, right? It just fucked up the AI. I got in sound, of course. Now it sucks. Now I might get sound puts to hedge my bet. Because it's like if DeepSeek comes out and it's that powerful and that good, well, guess what? All these startup AIs are going to get fucked up, aren't they? They're going to go down the drain. So what you can do is look up for startup AI companies that are relatively new. And guess what? Get some puts out far out. They're going to have some bad quarters. And then guess what? They're going to need to issue shares. Might go down. They might even go bankrupt and then you win. So, again, an event trade. There's always event trades out there. Sorry, I'm trying to read what they're talking about. Like I said, there's stupid stuff he's doing. There's a couple things I like, but again, I'm not for him. I'm not for it. I just feel like this would have been better than what Kamala fucking Harris did. Hate me over it. I don't care. That was my personal opinion. We all have thoughts. She just wasn't the person I thought. Here's my question. Stop putting up the most unlikable people in the world versus Trump if you want to win and you're Democrats. It's that simple. Everyone hates fucking Hillary Clinton. Who the fuck liked Hillary Clinton? No one. The only reason she was going to get votes is because people are blue. And then you had some people going, well, it'd be like Bill Clinton running for a second term. Nobody did it because they were like, God, yeah, you want Hillary fucking Clinton in there. And who the fuck like Kamala Harris? Stop getting the most unlikable fucking people you could ever imagine. And then you get these people like, oh my God, you didn't like them because they were women. No, I could care less if they were women or guys. Their personality is why I don't like them. Their fucking thoughts and a lot of the shit they did. A lot of the praise that they did that I see behind the curtains on the criminality. And they're like, yeah, fuck yeah, this is good. No, it's not. And if you can't see that, you're an idiot. But again, they're all bribed. If when you look at this picture of Trump, if politicians had on how many people paid them with dark money and corporate, he would have so many stickers on this fucking jacket. You would have to cover the podium. You'd have to cover the background. You would have to cover what's black over here on my screen that gets cut off. There's not enough room. How much money goes into these guys with dark fucking money is insane. Will they ever really be for you? I don't know. I don't think so, because unless Trump comes in and goes, all right, we're going to fucking start messing up Wall Street. We're going to start fixing this criminality shit. We're going to start helping out the little guy. We're going to start fixing the national debt. And that's the way to fucking help out the little guy. We're going to destroy the national debt. We're going to start crushing it. We're going to start crushing the national debt so we can bring it down to 10-year. By bringing down the 10-year, that means banks can lend better. By doing it, and they can bring down loans. That means people can go get loans, go get money. That means mortgage rates are going to drop. That means auto loan rates are going to drop. That means your average middle-class guy cannot spend so much money on fucking cars, houses. Credit card rates go up every time the 10-year goes up. So that means now that credit card debt they have won't cost them as much to hold. You want to fix middle class. You want to help people? Fix your fucking debt. Fix your tenure. And there you go. Because nothing can help us better than getting all these fucking rates down and getting people access to loans again so they can open up businesses and do all of these other things. So until people start to talk about the debt, I don't care what guys in president, girls in president, you're not going to help me specifically until you start to fix these other massive problems that none of them seem to talk about or address. Exactly. They're both bots. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. They care more about the guy that just paid him to pass a fucking bill. They bribed him to pass a bill. Oh, this dude just bribed me to pass a bill. Let me go ahead and fucking pass this. I don't give a shit how many people it fucks over. They don't care. They care about money. But I gotta go, guys. I gotta go get my son here. But I just want to invite everybody again, guys. Come learn on my next video here. I'm gonna be doing it in a day or two. We're gonna be doing charts. I'm gonna show you patterns. I'm gonna show you channels. I'm gonna show you trend lines, resistant lines, support lines. We're gonna get into a whole bunch of different stuff. Because, like I said, if you watched my last video and you were just looking at indicators and you're trading with indicators and you go, what went wrong? You cannot go off indicators alone. Indicators alone lag. They help, they tell you the trend, but they do lag. You want to match it with other aspects. So again, like I said, guys, tons of different things we're going to get going over. I want to keep teaching people. I want everyone to keep learning because, again, if I make you guys better traders, you guys can share good trades with me. We can all make money together. So again, guys, thank you so much for listening. Devon, let me get that Discord. Let me post that one more time here for everybody quick. I fucking hate this thing. I hate how it does streamer mode every time. Like, bro, I unable it. I unable automatically do it, and it still does it, dude. It's like, what the fuck? There you go. All right, everybody in here. Like I said, guys, if you want to join the Discord here, there's our Discord. Please come learn with us. Again, Sam had a great call on the NNE. He had a great call on the Colo. I really wish I would have listened. But, you know, right now we stay in the crypto. We were in the AI field. We like to look for hot trends, you know. You can make a lot of money just watching event trading, guys. Event trading is a massive, massive trade. A massive, massive way to trade. Again, you're going to do short-term calls in the money, higher delta, lower theta. It's a little more expensive, but you're going to get runs on those $1 raises, $2 raises instead of chasing them $2, $3 out. Because a lot of people, that's the problem. They'll go $3, $4 out, but they'll get one contract. The reason you get far out of the money contracts is because they're cheap, so you can get 5, 6, 7, 8. And then when it does hit that number, you had a big profit. But otherwise, you want to ride, you know, closer to in the money's maybe 50 cents out of the money, get that little extra, pay a little less on the premium, but still get the best delta, get the best theta. And that's a strategy to go with. The 50 cents above calls, those are a way that a lot of people are very successful. But I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you very much for listening.